Aloha everyone, I'm Susan Nutowitz with Let'sFeelExcellent.com or the YouTube channel by the same name. So in this video, I want to discuss reason number 5 for staying on a standard American diet, the SAD diet, and not going to a healthier diet of any kind. So here's reason number 5. If it involves fruits and vegetables, I just won't do it. I don't like it. I don't like that. I like my beer. I like my alcohol. I like my toasted cheese sandwich or whatever it is. And all this kinds of stuff that they like. And people are very honest. I understand this and I totally get it, especially with so much. You cannot escape, even if you don't watch TV or are on the internet, or you are totally immune to media whatsoever. You cannot go out without being advertised these indulgent food choices. You can't go into a grocery store of any kind without being advertised these indulgent food choices. So, you know, a person would really have to work at it. And a person that, you know, doesn't want to really eat fruits and vegetables, I don't know, you'd have to like raise your own meat and stay inside, I guess. But let's just discuss why this happens. Okay, so what happens is when a person eats junk food or highly salted food or highly fatty food or highly sugared food with like polysaccharides, processed sugars. What happens is the taste buds become sensitized to those foods, and they become desensitized actually because there's a lot of chemicals in the foods. There's those the high salt and the high fat is pretty harsh on the taste buds, and so the person becomes desensitized to the taste of fruits and vegetables. So this is one really good benefit about becoming low-fat raw vegan in particular, is that all of your senses just come alive. All of them, not only taste, but smell and touch and, you know, intuition just becomes alive. Energy, you have energy like crazy, but you can sleep better as well. So everything just becomes better. So when a person tells me, well, I just don't want to do it, it is absolutely, no pun intended, but a sad choice, because they're taking this much of life because of this monkey on their back. Basically, it's just an addiction. I mean, people don't like it when I call food an addiction, but it's one of the primary addictions. We have it, you know, some of us have it from our placenta, from what our moms ate. You know, we already became addicted. Our cells, our brain cells, our subconscious, everything is tuned to that wanting of that food. Now, the taste part and those other senses, they come back into fruition about, you know, like within a few days, like 3 days or something like that. No more than a week. So the physical addiction, you're looking at, even if you've been doing it your whole life, no more than a week. The mental addiction, I have tricks for you. So first of all, it's making a decision and wanting these kinds of foods. You'll notice that everybody that chooses the raw food movement for a a substantial amount of time, they want that food. You know, you try and offer them something indulgent and fatty, and they're like, I'm not putting that in my body. You know, it's just an automatic response. And you want to get that to that place rather than, you know, someone offers you a big salad and I'm not putting that in my body. You know what I mean? So it's worthwhile. In fact, you don't want the junk anymore. The junk tastes bad. It is bad. It feels bad. And that's what you have in your memory instead of that it's good and it's comfort food. There's nothing comfortable about a Dorito. There's really nothing comfortable about it at all. There's nothing comfortable about a baked good. There's nothing comfortable about that kind of stuff. So, you know, there's ways to actually speed up the process. And, you know, because otherwise it is working with willpower for a little bit. And then, you know, for most of us. And then we want the food that is healthy. But there are ways of speeding this up. Like actually, there's processes that I work with where I work with people in their subconscious mind. It's not subliminal anything. It's not hypnosis. I'm actually working with the conscious person and their subconscious mind, and we're actually changing their memory and their belief about the food. Now let me give you a little example of this. Cheesecake used to always turn my head. I just used to love cheesecake and cheese in general, you know. Just love the creaminess to it, the texture, the taste. It just made me go, oh, wow. It just made me come alive. And I remember I worked at the Hapuna Prince Hotel, and they used to have a cafeteria where they would serve a certain amount of food, and as all the hotels do. And they would put the leftovers from, I guess, buffets in there. And a lot of times they would have these decadent cheesecakes, you know. And so I used to kind of lose it every once in a while. And then I learned this process, and I changed my image of cheese in general to not being that creamy, salty, fermented, sweet, yummy food. I don't have that kind of memory. I don't think of cheesecake in that way. I think it tastes like glue. I think of it as glue, and I have the taste of glue. I mean, who hasn't tasted Elmer's or something, you know, at some point? Not intentionally, but you're working on something, or kids or whatever. We know what Elmer's glue tastes like. Well, that I associate now with cheese. And so it does not bother me to not have cheese or dairy or whatever. And, you know, sometimes I might be going through a stressful phase, and there'll be like a tiny little moment where it's like, oh, don't you want to just go to the store and get some cheese? You deserve it. And nope, I don't. Oh, I just have, that memory came up, so I recondition it with the new and improved memory, and boom, no, I don't want that because it tastes like glue. So that's one little example. You can use that for cheese if that's your bane. And then there's, you know, we can do that with anything. So that's partially how I do it. And, you know, the other part of the work we do together is just making the decision very strong. So none of this lifestyle change is willpower. You want to do it. You want to do the movement therapy. You want to do exercise. It's all about that. Okay? So you don't have to worry about, well, I don't like it. I'm not going to do it. You know, if that's a person's choice, then I go, okay, fine. It's sad. Sometimes I deal with spouses or family members, and the family person that could use the help is literally dying, and they just don't see it that way. So they don't. Can you see how frame of mind plays a powerful role in our decisions? The person that's dying doesn't see it that way, but we know, yeah, this is a very low quality of life. This is a ridiculous quality of life. I would not put up with this kind of life. They would not put up with this kind of life, but this family member does. And so you just have to kind of go, okay, well, if that's your choice, in those cases, I work with the family members with their choices of whether they're going to pick up the slack for that person, and if there's any slack to pick up, or take care of them, or what their choices might be. Okay, so I hope this video was helpful to you. Give me a thumbs up if it was, and share it with all of your friends that may be concerned about it. I wouldn't put it in someone's face that is like, nope, fruits and vegetables, I'm not doing it. I wouldn't put it in, hey, watch this. But for those of you, or those that you know, that have wanted to make a lifestyle change, actually, they want the benefits of being healthy, but they feel like, they would just miss their cheese or whatever. Share it with those guys, okay? Because it can really, really help them. Thank you so much for watching, and I wish you an excellent day. I'm Susan Nudowitz with Let'sFeelExcellent.com. Aloha.